OldGuyTalks.com is all about being a better man. Join me on this kick-ass journey. Exclusive stuff for members only in the Old Guy Cave. Opt in now. This is Oris the Old Guy from www.oldguytalks.com, also known as Climate Change Central. Not. So, big news today, no surprise. The president is keeping to his campaign promises. So we're out of the Paris Accord, or also known as the hashtag Paris Agreement. Lots of Twitter action on that little hashtag. And apparently the globalists are kind of feeling the pain, which is kind of nice. I'm glad they are, because I'm certainly not a globalist fan. You know, there's a lot of good reasons that we shouldn't be in this thing. And, you know, the mainstream media and everybody, oh, we're abdicating our leadership role in the world and this and that, and blah, 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 all sorts of bullshit. You know, where were they when we were leading from behind? What the hell is that all about? So who knows? So, but there are lots of good reasons for us not to be in this deal. Number one, China, which is the number one polluter in the world, is not subject to this agreement. Yeah, how about that, folks? Not for 13 years. And you think they're going to get on board after 13 years? I don't think so. They're not stupid. They're smart, and they ain't going to sign up for this nonsense. So they're not on board. And you know, the deal is not enforceable. It doesn't mean anything. And this deal should have been, this treaty, which is actually what it is, should have gone to the Senate for ratification, which it did not, because Obama knew that it would never pass muster in the Senate, much like the Kyoto deal, which was, I think it was voted down 99-1. That was another bullshit thing. This deal also, 6.5 million manufacturing jobs in the United States would be lost if this deal was enforced the way we had agreed to it. We, I mean President Obama. And about $3 to $4 trillion loss in gross domestic product. I mean, this is horrible. And you know what the benefit of this would be? Somewhere between 0.017 and 0.1 degree temperature change over 85 years. This is not going to give you the 4-degree drop in temperature, which I'm not sure we want. As apparently, you know, we've had all this stuff. Al Gore had this movie in 2002, An Inconvenient Truth, which turned out to be bullshit. Miami is not underwater, neither is Los Angeles. Los Angeles is not in a swamp, though it is a swamp of different sorts. All that stuff didn't happen that he said was going to happen. And guess what? We're actually going to be experiencing a cold streak coming in for about the next 20 or 30 years, and that has to do with lunar flare-ups, solar flare-ups, amongst other things. Now, let's talk about the oceans and the Arctic. You know, everybody's been saying, oh, the Arctic is vanishing, it's getting smaller. Well, maybe it is in basically in area, but it's the Arctic snow and the Arctic ice is deeper than it ever has been. And Antarctica is expanding. So what is it? Is it global warming? Is it cooling? Or what is it? Or is it whatever you want it to be? Well, folks, science does not work that way. That's right, folks. Science has not worked this way. And according to some researchers in Denmark, the Earth's temperature hasn't changed in 19 years. Wow, 19 years. That's kind of different. So, you know, so much for this global, it's a foregone conclusion. It's basically fact. It's not. It's not, and it's not like we want dirty air, polluted water. You know, no one wants that. What we do want is real solutions to real problems, not stuff that is made up, not stuff that is cultish, like the whole global climate change culture. That's right, folks, it is. So, other news to talk about other stuff. Kathy Griffin, she's in a lot of trouble. And she's proved that civil discourse is almost dead in the United States, with her having that, holding up the Trump beheaded head. You know, that was sad. It was, you know, and you know, what was she thinking? There wasn't anything funny about it. And Jim Carrey is, you know, he's doubling down on that. He said she should show up with an arm that's been severed. I mean, talk about stupid. Talk about lunacy. Not funny. And for people that make their money on being funny, that's horrible. You know, finally CNN, in a rare moment of moral clarity, fired Kathy Griffin. I'm not sure how that happened. Rosie O'Donnell, of course, she's a piece of work. She first said, you remember, she started to pick on Barron Trump again. You know, great Rosie, pick on an 11-year-old kid. You know, she's just not a nice person. She's actually a piece of shit. I'm going to say she's a piece of shit, and I can see why Trump went after her, because she's a vile human being. She's a vile person, picking on an 11-year-old child. And you know, first remember she said he was autistic, which he's not. And then, you know, then this stuff, you know, saying, oh, he wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid. Rosie, you are a piece of shit. I'm going to say that again. And you know, it's just you're pathetic. Pathetic is the only word to be used on you. Now, political correctness. You can't even call it political correctness. I mean, it's gone way over there. Way over there. I mean, it's way beyond the pale. At Evergreen State College, I think, or university, a bunch of students had invited the white people to stay off of campus. Invited. That's right. That's how it was phrased. Well, this whole thing got out of hand really fast when the student loons. The student loons basically had a meeting with the president of the university. And there's a link to the video. I think you should watch it. I think you should definitely watch the whole thing, because it's kind of sad. They're yelling at the president, and he's kind of doing his normal things like I would too here, you know, talking. And they're telling him to put his hands down by his side. And it was just like, really? That's how you talk to the president of your university? And they were yelling at him, and, you know, fuck this, fuck that, and all that stuff. And it was just total disrespect for the president of the university and just the whole education system. And it reminded me of that movie, The Killing Fields, with the Khmer Rouge. That's right, folks. It did remind me of that movie and how intolerant the people in power, and they were the people in power in that room at that time. I don't know why the president of that university succumbed to their demands at that meeting. It's a mistake. It's time that university administrators not cave into this violent mob, and you know, that threatening. I mean, it wasn't violent, but it was threatening mob, and they can't cave in, because this is the end of honest intellectual discourse on university campuses if this continues. And it will continue to get worse if the administrators don't step in and start acting like adults and be in control and offer differing points of view. So, folks, this is Urs, the old guy from www.oldguytalks.com signing off. Remember to opt in if you haven't. You'll get my 5 rules of life and other stuff that I post on a regular basis. Lots of cool shit coming at you soon. That's right, folks. Soon. We're going to have something special about how to keep that sport coat unwrinkled when traveling. That's right. Something everyone needs to know. Take care. And I'm Brady out here having a little adult beverage, finishing my day. Going to have a cigar and watch the NBA Finals. Finally, they're starting Game 1. Take care. Remember, create a kick-ass life. Opt in and encourage other old guy assholes like you to opt in also.